The teams are on the floor. We are set for the opening tip, and we are underway. George Mendoza for the Memorial Tigers in their home white with the orange and black trim, orange numerals and lettering the black trim. They are the home team today by virtue of being the #1 seed in the HCIAA. There's Cesar Sabino. Outside shot from David Velasquez, and he breaks the seal on this one, 3-0 Memorial.
Now he's the go-to guy, John. He's going to do the bulk of the offensive work here from the outside. An excellent player.
Michael Amadio misses, gets it back, comes up short. Brandon Smith fighting along the baseline, but the Tigers come up with it. Opening minute of play, Memorial looking for their first title in 30 years. Bayonne trying to end a 35-year drought. Memorial's been picked off as the #1 seed in the semis a couple of times in recent history. Sabino turnaround, no good. And the rebound by Brian Smith. The Bees last year, a miraculous run all the way to the finals before losing to Dickinson. Brian Smith a little bit too strong, and it's run down by Sammy Pereira.
We're seeing a start reminiscent of the girls' game where both teams are a little tight, but their transition seems to be working on both sides of the ball. I'm sure we're going to be in for a very exciting basketball game, John.
The Bees start with Michael Amadio, Quincy Smith, Brian and Brandon Smith, and junior Gary Elam for Memorial as Sabino tries to clear some space with the elbow but miss. It's Sammy Pereira, Andrew Vahande, David Velasquez, Sabino, and Mendoza. Head coach Wilson Rodriguez of the 17-3 Tigers. They were 10-1 in the regular season. And another one for the playoff win. Smith's 3 is no good. As for Jack Laddick's crew, 12-8 and 9-2 in the regular season with the win on Snyder. Make that a 10. Another 3, front iron, no good. The student body right behind us, so anything that goes well for Memorial, you will hear it loud, and hear it often. Elam pulls up, 14 feet. Soft touch, no good. And Memorial with the basketball and a 3-0 lead.
You know, John, the other day, Hladik said one thing they have to be able to do is contain number 34, Cesar Sabino, for Memorial, as their guard play is great, but he is a very big presence inside.
Velasquez trying to sneak one in, and it's taken away by Quincy Smith. A collision in the backcourt. Up ahead, Brian Smith draws contact, puts it in off the window, and the Bees are on the board, 3-2 Memorial.
Good transition basketball, John. Look for Bayonne to do a lot of this. Look for both teams, actually. But I think, again, Bayonne probably with the better team speed overall. You'll get a lot of transition baskets from this team. We saw them last year in the loss to Dickinson, very similar. They haven't changed much.
Backdoor cut, nifty looking play. Velasquez has all 5 Memorial points. They lead 5-2. Bayonne lost the first contest between these two teams, 48-40. Memorial got up big early. Bayonne eventually tied things up in West New York before falling by 8. And it was the outside shooting game of Memorial that ultimately was the Waterloo of the Bees. Velasquez piping hot out of the gate has 7. Bees trail by 5.
Well, Coach was worried about Sabino, but Velasquez right now is the one that's on fire, and somebody's going to have to contain him.
Elam, a high arcing shot, nothing but nylon, 7-4 Memorial.
Elam's got that Elijah Ingram jump shot, John, a high arcing shot that nearly touches the rafters, and a lot of coaches don't like that form of shooting, but works for him, I'll tell you that.
The officials for this afternoon/evening's game, Bob Lauderhan and Gibby Lewis, 2 of the very best. And of course, Gibby, a familiar face in these parts for a long time.
That foul was charged to 21 Smith, John.
Thought it might have been Elam, but instead it's Smith. Thank you very much for the clarification.
Nice dig.
Over the back goes Sabino. Oh no. Foul's on Bayonne, and it's on Brandon Smith.
One thing for sure, John, we have 2 very seasoned officials calling the game today. And you can't ask for a better officiating crew than the 2 that are out there, because they've seen these kids for the past few years, and they know advantage, disadvantage in the game of basketball.
Another 3 try, no good. Rebound, Elam. Very good crowd on hand. Elam all the way to the rack. 7-6.
Oh, he just left the defender standing there. He's a little guy, but boy, he packs a lot of wallop. He can really penetrate.
Elam's such a catalyst for this team. At times, he can lose his head, but when his game is on, the Bees are virtually unbeatable when it comes to county play. And so far, so good as far as Gary Elam is concerned. Sabino along the baseline working on Amadio, who cuts him off along the baseline. Tries it again, no sail. Amadio moving the feet. Elam almost picked it off. Mendoza kicks it out right side, three-point try. It's good. Sammy Pereira.
Memorial with the threes. It's been the difference in the early going.
10-6 Memorial, 4-point lead, 2:55 to go. Very fast-paced first quarter. Quincy Smith lays it up left hand. Good extra pass down low by Brian Smith.
You know, John, it's difficult to tell which team this tempo was favoring because Bayonne is able to work it inside and Memorial is popping threes from the outside.
Very crisp start to this game. Brandon Smith with the intercept. All the way in. Nice. Oh, and a foul called on Andrew Vahande.
Looked like he had ball, John, but it's a tough call to make when you're a little bit behind and you're blocked, as Loudahand was, and you know that's not a knock on him because it's tough to get into a great position for that shot. But normally you would get a foul call there, but I thought he had ball there.
Brandon Smith to go to the line, try to tie this up, 10-8. This game being brought to you by Pamrapo Savings Bank, Bayonne's community bank. Our thanks to William Campbell, Judy McAuliffe, and Brian Campbell. Also, thanks are in order to the HCIAA. Of course, Jim, you had some dealings with them to organize this and everything going rather smoothly. Our thanks also to the coaches in both games, making themselves available pre and post. Not always the case.
Well, you know, John, it's good when you have quality people coming to the line. And all four coaches we're dealing with today are outstanding examples of the type of people you want working with young minds in today's society.
Mendoza, baseline turnaround, no good. Tie game, Bayonne with the basketball. Brian Smith down for Brock Smith, muscles up, no good, gets it back, had it poked away. Brandon Smith, no good. Brock muscling around. Jump ball says Lauderhand. Possession arrow says Bayonne. Brock Smith is a horse.
Yeah, he sure is.
Oh, God.
Great job on the offensive boards as well. Surprised Ricky didn't get him for the football team.
Well, he did for next year.
Oh, okay.
Brandon Stokes seeing his first time off the bench. Jerome Hayes checks in. Brandon Smith sits down. 10-10 our score, minute 55 to go first quarter.
Well, John, I know the strength of the Bayonne B bench. I don't know the strength of the Memorial bench. But at the tempo this game is going, both teams had better have a good, strong bench because they're exerting a lot of energy out there on the floor.
Bayonne had 9 players score in the first half, so that speaks a little bit to their balance and their depth. Memorial has not substituted as of yet. Foul on the pass. Wilson Rodriguez going ballistic on the sidelines right now.
I don't know, yelling at Pereira looks like. Not happy with something that he did. I guess the foul that he committed.
Foul was on Sabino, his first. Smith for 3, rattles out. Stokes kept it alive, and Sabino pulled it down.
Now, Sabino's a pretty big guy himself.
He's long and he's bulky. Yeah, he's almost a carbon copy of Brock. This is Mendoza, 70 seconds to go. Sabino almost picked off by Elam. Short range jumper, pulling the string was Vahande. 3-on-2 Bayonne. Brian Smith kicks for Elam. Bullet pass for Hayes. Hesitation. It's good.
Great execution, John. And Hayes didn't quite have the handle and had shown great patience. Got his man up in the air until he got the handle, made the pump fake, put the ball home. Good fast break basketball.
40 seconds remaining, 12-10, Bayonne on top by 2. Their first lead of the game, and it's picked off by Elam. 3-on-2, Elam pulls up foul line, no good. Smith crashes the boards and draws the foul on Sammy Pereira, his first, the team's third. And Smith will go to the line for 2, and this is probably exactly the kind of start that Jack Alatic was looking for.
He was looking for an up-tempo game. He wanted to let the strength of his forward line come into play, and they are doing just that. The one thing that's surprising is they thought they would have to shoot from the perimeter in order to beat Memorial today, and so far Bayonne's strength has been inside.
Well, the Bees have done a great job of the offensive glass here in the early going. I mean, we know what kind of athletes they have, and we saw these guys in football season and during the basketball season. Great jumpers, great jumping ability to Smiths, all 3 of them. Even little Elam can get up when he has to. This is a very good rebounding team.
2 misses by Smith. And it remains a 2-point Bayonne lead with 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Coming up at halftime on the Pamlico Savings Bank halftime report, I'll be joined by John Fanta, the president of the HCIAA. Bounce inside. Hayes with the denial on Roy Frias.
Jerome Hayes, a guy who we probably know more about from the football season. He's on his way to being a super player. Can get it done on the court as well. Maybe not quite as proficient in basketball, but again, great athleticism. Give you 100% all the time. He's a big asset to this team.
Clock runs out on the first quarter. Shot did not get off in time, and the Bees, after trailing through most of the first 8 minutes, head to the first breather, ahead by 2 over the score on the Pamlico Savings Bank scoreboard. Bayonne 12 and Memorial 10. Gibby Lewis, one of the officials for this afternoon's game, not signaling first down. And you see Gibby always talking to the kids. He's an excellent official, especially works well in physical games because he knows how to talk to kids, but he especially knows how to talk to tough kids.
Yeah, Gibby's a great guy, John. Come under a little fire lately in the rec department. I don't know exactly why, but I'll tell you what, if they ever get rid of him, it's a big mistake. He's great with kids, and he's a wonderful person.
Sabino spinning in the paint on Brock Smith is able to draw the foul.
Plus, I have to add, probably gave me the most entertaining time I've ever had on cable television in an interview we did a few years ago. I could have done that for 4 hours. That was so much fun. He's quite a character.
Sabino makes the free throw, his first point. And it's a 1-point game.
We could dub this the North-South series because there's no team further north in the HCIAA than North Bergen and no team further south than Bayonne.
That's right.
Jerome Hayes. He is unlikely to shoot a 3 and then throws it away. Picked off by Mendoza, has a clear lane to the basket and lays it in. Memorial takes a 1-point lead at 13-12.
Mendoza was waiting in the bushes and timed it perfectly, an ill-advised pass. And Bayonne hasn't made too many mistakes here, but that was one of them.
Well, the only thing Mendoza didn't do with that ball was dunk it that time.
Brock Smith, Kenny Jaworski, Brandon Stokes accelerates to the hoop, a little too much muscle on the floor to get it, saves it. Velasquez was, Mendoza was cut off by Elam, otherwise that's a fast break opportunity.
Elam's got great quickness, John. You see his footwork, phenomenal.
Very good crowd on hand here at the Yanatelli Center. Shot was blocked. Elam bounces it up ahead. Behind the back, a travel on Brock Smith.
Well, Brock Smith looking to Turn back the clock to a kid who played for Memorial the last time they won the county championship, Jackie Galloon. I don't know if you guys remember that name. Most people in Hudson County will, the older ones. He made passes like that regularly. And he was trying to do that, but it's a little tough to do when you're not used to doing it.
Minute and a half gone by, second quarter. John Hester along with Paul Giorgio, Jim Burton, and Juan Sambade. Paul, Jim, and myself, courtside, travel called. Juan up in the bleachers doing the only real work associated with this.
Juan doesn't work. He's up there looking at the young ladies down in front.
Wow, that may be true. I know he's working harder than I am.
I'll tell you what, he has the best vantage point in the house, and I know it's tough with us only working with one camera to show it, but this place is really packed with people on a Saturday afternoon, and that's admirable for high school sports.
Elam, Brandon Smith for three. 13-12, Memorial on top. And they'll walk the ball up the court. Very fast-paced first quarter. Not a lot of fouls and quite a bit of action.
Good look.
Sabino missed, but then went over the back to get the rebound. No, correction. Was it 34? I thought he called it on Orlando Mascara.
Yeah, he called it on Sabino.
That's Sabino's second.
He's going to take a blow. Well, we'll problem at the table now.
I thought they called it on Mascara.
The scoreboard says 24.
Well, the officials got it right, and they went to the table and made sure they got it right,
Yeah,
so
okay.
now we've got it right. It was on number 40, Orlando Mosqueda.
Jump shot from Stokes off the mark. Only 3 points scored here in the second.
You know, it's surprising, John, because Bayonne came out working the ball well around the perimeter and then moving inside. And so far, the second quarter, they haven't made anything of a good shot, and it's coming from outside.
Velasquez very pleased with himself after making his second three as he skips back up the floor. 16-12, 4-point Memorial lead. Elam way downtown, throws up an air ball. Stokes tries to save it, but saves it right back to Velasquez.
And the Memorial fans letting them know it. They've always been a vocal group.
Elam makes the recovery to swat it away from Mendoza.
Good help from Brock Smith. You know, John, when you watch you do a girls' game, as exciting as it was, and as fun as it was, the pace, it's like your eyeballs just have to go into another mode when the boys come on the floor. It's almost like you're a step behind. It's really incredible the difference in the level of speed, and especially on a big floor. You know, a big floor seems like such an eternity for the girls sometimes, but for the boys, they cover it very quickly.
Brandon Smith picks up his second. Kenny Jaworski checks in.
Right now, neither team has been afraid to go to the bench and use substitutes, which means they have great confidence in them.
Sabino comes out with the rebound and saves it for Vahande. Good work on the offensive glass. Amadio and Sabino banging bodies. Velasquez with the left hand. Had it picked off by Quincy Smith, who saved it for Jaworski. Jaworski's got to watch out from behind. Gives it outside for Elam. Another air ball from Gary Elam.
Keep pumping up the crowd with those air balls. I'll tell you one thing about Gary Elam, John. He elevates on his shot. A tough shot to block for such a little guy, but he's got to get on the mark a little bit more.
His younger brother Arthur checks into the game. Elvis Quintero seeing his first action, number 23 for Memorial. They break the pressure rather nicely and draw the foul on the baseline.
Those are things, John, that you look at for the well-coached teams. How they break the pressure, how they attack special defenses. You know, these things get addressed by the good coaches that practice on a day-to-day basis. And that's where you can tell some of these coaches are better than others when they're able to do that at a drop of a hat. Come out, they throw a diamond on one of you, you can break it. They throw a 1-3-1 at you, you can break it. You know, that's all got to be prepared. It doesn't just happen by accident.
The Hyundai at the line. This is his first free throw attempt. 1 for 3 from the line are the Tigers. Bees 2 for 4.
You know, John, it's tough to say it, but Bayonne has not scored a basket yet this whole second quarter.
Not tough to say, you just said it.
It's tough to hear it if you're a Bayonne fan, that's for sure. 7-0 in the second quarter, just to accentuate Jim's point. And we've played over half the quarter. Jaworski underneath. Good looking play. Jaworski feeding Amadio.
It's a nice rotation. Good job. Amadio, another player, John, who's come a long way from last year. Quite an improvement. You know, John, we'd really be remiss if we didn't talk about Jack Hladek here a little bit. You know, we remember the lean years not too long ago when Jack was getting lumped up pretty good from time to time, and the critics were out there, and the boo birds were hiding in the weeds. You know, and there was talk about, you know, is Jack going to be here? Is he Pearson's guy? You know, I'll tell you what, he more than answered the bell. He can finish that statement today here with a win, but even regardless, even if he didn't, you know, he's got talent now, and he's a great coach. You give a great coach great talent, great things are going to happen. So, you know, we've always known he's a hell of a coach, and he's, you know, he's needed some talent, and he's got it now. His team's right there.
Trailing by 3 right now. Second consecutive trip to the finals.
You know, John, that timeout was called because Memorial did not like how easy that basket by Amadeo went in. And in a game that's as closely contested as this one, you can't have any letdowns.
Arthur Elam giving chase all over the floor. Bayonne trying to pressure the basketball, and it's kicked away.
Soccer program's going to be looking for him.
Look, Velasquez was going to pump that up there too. He had an open 3 again, but chose to pass it.
Amadio on the overplay. Tried to save it, had help from Quincy Smith. Memorial maintains possession.
You know, it's great when you see the big man on the court try to hustle, and he did a great job trying to get that ball back in for his benefit, the benefit of his team.
Velasquez with a hand in his face that time, took an extra bounce on the rack, on the rim, and it went out of bounds. Jaworski was in good position, got up, but it took an extra bounce.
Yes, it did. That screwed up his timing, and you know, one of the big keys to rebounding is reading the shot. And sometimes, you know, you just get a funny bounce, and it's a tough thing to do. But reading the shot is a big key in boards.
17-14, 3:10 remaining in the second quarter. Trying to work on Jaworski and picked off from behind by Brian Smith. Collision in the backcourt, no whistle.
Wow, good day. Whoa! Got the offensive call?
No, Mendoza actually grabbed his shirt.
Oh, okay.
I thought he grabbed his shirt.
I think you're right.
But Smith's got to give that up and get some help.
That was great defense, and I don't know, the foul was there, but I think the 10-second call was there also.
I had 9.98.
So our counts don't count, so
but I count by the
obviously the
100.
foul was there.
Well, it depends on how long your fingers are too, right? Whether or not you count to 10 just as fast. Maybe Lauderhand's fingers
We've
are
got
smaller.
some long fingers at this table, I'll tell you that. Especially when the food comes out.
Smith, the 3, no good. Jaworski working hard on the glass. Ken Jaworski, his first field goal. Bayonne back within 1.
I tell you, Jaworski's presence is being felt out there tonight, and he is doing an outstanding job of the putback.
Vahande has to peel back.
Oh.
And just pick it up. That's
what Jim was talking about before, that the Bayonne girls failed to do. Cost him a basket, a big basket in that game the way. We get Brian Smith right in front of us.
Junior Dela Cruz
And I hope he hasn't eaten beans for dinner.
checks in for Memorial.
Otherwise, we're going to lose an ambiance, Mike.
In for Quincy Smith, 2:10 to go. Until intermission, underneath Jaworski. Nice backdoor pass and cut. Jaworski converts, and Bayonne has scored 6 straight to take a 1-point lead at 18-17.
Good break, good break.
Yeah, they're not looking though after they break it to attack the basket.
Well, they're probably a little concerned with their ball handling up the floor. Get it back to the, be patient, get it back to the guys who can handle it for you. Good, strong move.
Sabino will shoot 2. Jaworski picks up his first.
See Hans Cohen here today. What's that all about? You call him?
16 fouls on Bayonne.
Maybe doing baseball practice was started.
Sabino misses. He's now 1 for 3 from the line.
Last time Gene saw me, I was snoring on your couch, I think. Right?
I hate to say it, but free throws in a close game like this come back to haunt you in the end game.
Just missed 2, and Jaworski again with a board. Kenny Jaworski getting a good run here. A couple of buckets, couple bounds, committed a foul. 90 seconds remaining. No good on the 3 try. Amadio goes up and gets it. Quincy Smith, Jaworski for 3. No good. Weak side rebound, run down by Smith. Thought about throwing one to Quincy Smith. Would have been picked off. Elam, bullet pass for Jaworski.
Nice move.
Wow, tough angle shot. Jaworski has 6. 8 straight from Bayonne, and it is 20-17.
You know, John, usually we say Smith, 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 Smith. Today it's Jaworski, 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 and there's only one of them out there.
Velasquez, Sabino, runs into Amadio, loses the ball. 4 on 3. Smith, well, that's it. Let's see a foul or
Yeah, called a foul before on Velasquez.
Scoreboard again having problems. It is 20-17 in favor of Bayonne.
You have to have a little math lesson. That happens sometimes, Joe. I've done it. I've done the clock for games at a scoreboard, and sometimes you hit the wrong side.
Found Jaworski again. Couldn't convert, though. Another difficult angle. All the way, coast to coast goes George Mendoza. Cuts the deficit to 1.
Well, Mendoza made a great run at the basket, and he did something I wish a lot of other kids would learn. He brought the ball in front of him and put it softly off of the grass with a nice inside move. They would have had to foul him in order to try to block that.
Brian Smith for Jaworski.
Nice
Save
block.
play. Good catch and score by Amadio.
Well, Jaworski's done some nice things here, John. Great shot, great pass.
Almost intercepted. 13 seconds ago, Sabino, short-range jumper, no good. Jaworski the rebound with 8 seconds to go. 3-point Bayonne lead, and the outlet too long for Michael Amadio, so Memorial will get a chance with 5.2.
See if the Tigers opt for a 3 here, John, or a good three-pointing shooting team, especially with Velasquez, or will they bang it in for 2? I don't have much time, so it's probably going to be a 3.
Down to 3 seconds, 2.
Good day. Great job by Elam.
Picks it off. And that will do it for an exciting first half. We seesawed a little bit. We're going to step aside. Don't forget, stay tuned for the Pamlico Savings Bank halftime report. We'll be joined by John Fanta. The score at halftime on the Pamlico Savings Bank scoreboard. Memorial trails Bayonne 22-19. Bayonne leads by 3. 16 minutes away from their first championship since 1968. You see Brian Smith standing right in front of our scorers table, anxious to get the second half underway. The Bees.
Juan was getting a picture of the young lady walking up the stands. It wasn't Brian he was after.
Yvonne, I'm not going to pile on, man. You're my guy. So
Keep your hands off them girls, Juan. I'll tell your mother of you.
So Bayonne with the ball first. Elam's going to try a 3 to get it going. And he's been way off the mark, but he's able to get help from his teammates. A rebound by Quincy Smith.
Now, John, Bayonne's going to have to start shooting better from the outside. They're going to win here today. They've been awful from the outside.
They were awful in the first meeting from the outside. But this time they've managed to maintain a lead. Elam looks to penetrate, gives it out for Brian Smith, and Bayonne will reset. This is a team that likes to run, and they make their living offensively in the transition. They're not a particularly smooth half-court offense, but then Ken Jaworski, how about that? A three.
We're talking people into things here today, I'm sure of it.
That's right.
The only thing Jaworski has not yet done tonight is dunk the ball, and I am sure before the game is over, he'll do that too.
6-point Bayonne lead, their largest lead, 25-19. Ken Jaworski has contributed throughout the season, but making a bigger contribution than he would ordinarily make. And that's big. Gary Elam picks up his first personal. Now you hope to get what you can get from the expected places, but when you can get production from unexpected sources, well, that's quite a weapon in the arsenal. And Jaworski has 9 points. Velasquez, who's cooled off, had 10 points in the first half. Had 7 in the first quarter. Vahande, left side Velasquez. Sabino working hard, trying to get position on Amadio, and Amadio not budging on the blocks.
John, it looks right now like Bayonne has got 6 people out on the floor. Every time someone from Memorial sees the ball, they are coming down with 2 people on them.
Jack Haladic exasperated.
Oh, good pickup.
Hands on hips, offensive foul. Guess who drew it?
Jaworski.
Mendoza picks up his second personal.
That's a nice draw. As I said before, he's having a great game, Jaworski. He's done so many big things for Bayonne here.
Well, I'll tell you, I admire the official for making that call, because a lot of officials will blow that one wholeheartedly. And as I said at the start of the game, we have 2 of the best officials in Hudson County calling this championship game.
After Jim Burt.
Quincy Smith, Brian Smith, they move it around the perimeter. Bayonne, very patient approach here.
Dipsy Doodle effect.
Elam, high arcing shot, no good. Rebound Sabino.
It's gonna come back to haunt them, the shooting.
They hold a 6-point lead. Memorial had one burst early on where they were very successful from the perimeter. And Amadio altered that shot significantly. Off Elam's leg, Quincy Smith will sit down, and Brandon Stokes checks in for Bayonne.
We spoke earlier about the depth that the Lady Bees have on the bench, the fact that Marist High School's Lady Knights have depth on the bench, but Jack Haladic has got a great bench. I mean, his starting 5 could be replaced by the next 5 and not lose much of anything.
Memorial cold from the perimeter, and Sabino's been unable to get on track inside, has only 1 point on a free throw. So offensively, Memorial not hitting on any cylinders. Jaworski comes over to help out, then gets the rebound. Chance for Bayonne to run. Nice looking pass for Elam, takes it all the way and gets the bounce.
And Rodriguez taking a good time out here, John. Down 8 points, the biggest lead for Bayonne. He's got some discussing to do. He's not very happy. They're not playing well, especially offensively. And Bayonne's transition game now kicking in and making a difference here in the third quarter.
Well, you know, the one thing you have to admire about that play, Jaworski got the rebound, brought the ball up court, and he made an exceptionally difficult pass to a cutting Gary Elam, who got 2. But one of those 2 points belongs to Jaworski.
Jaworski still, I mean, if you have to pick an MVP at the 2.5 quarter mark, Jaworski clearly has made the greatest impact all around. Everybody playing fairly well, but he has done everything, passing the ball, rebounding the basketball, altering shots, and he has 9 points. Bayonne now with an 8-point lead, and I always think it's best for the team that's in the championship game the year before that returns, opposed to a first-time team. Bayonne, having tasted the experience, tasted defeat, I think that team is slightly hungrier, and it seems so far that that pattern is held. Mendoza into the front court on Elam. Velasquez for 3. It's good.
Now, three-pointers were made for this kid. He is just so smooth. And it's been so important to Memorial because they haven't done much else on offense.
4:25 to go, 27-22. Bayonne on top by 5. Velasquez with 3 threes. Brock Smith, right elbow. Jaworski for 3. Soft shot. Can't get it to go. Sabino muscling up on the rebound. Halfway through.
Right now, John, Bayonne made their run, and Memorial is now trying to change the tempo so they can do that catch-up thing.
Velasquez. Jaworski out-leaps 2 Memorial Tigers. Elam spins at half court. Nice-looking pass. Sneaks it inside, but an offensive foul on the pass called against Elam.
That's a great move by Elam, too. He spun through 3 defenders, but a good call by Lewis.
And Bayonne takes a full timeout. They still have plenty left, 2 fulls and 2 thirties. You take a look at Wilson Rodriguez and the Memorial Tiger bench. Down by 5 with 3:44 to go. And they're playing this second half from behind, unlike the first meeting in which they played from ahead, blew a lead, and ultimately won by 8.
You know, John, one thing that you have to be impressed by is the support that Bayonne is getting out for today's game. If you look in the stands above the Peacock Peahen sign to the left, you'll see Coach Rodriguez and literally the Bayonne B football team sitting in the stands. And they were here for the girls' game and they stayed for the boys' game. And you have to respect that because these kids were here when they won their championship.
And the football team really got things kicked off in the right direction, winning the state championship. And since then, Bayonne has really been cleaning up. They have 4 of the possible 5 titles in basketball, going for what we think is the unprecedented clean sweep on the boys and the girls side.
Now, John, the other side of the coin, you got to give the North Bergen girls some credit too. They're also here, and Maas, even though they were on the losing end, here to just enjoy a good afternoon of basketball and maybe pull for their North Hudson counterparts. There might be some connections there. Those schools are very close. So.
And Dan Reardon, incidentally, joined us post-game after a very tough loss. This really was thought to be his team's year. They were the #1 seed, and very gracious in defeat coming over to talk with us, so we do appreciate that. But we didn't expect anything else from a guy like Dan Reardon, really one of the really best guys in the county.
He's a Blue Jay.
There you go. Brock Smith. Brock Smith picks up his second foul, and he's had a very uneven performance in this ball game.
Usually Brock will get 2 fouls after he scored about 6 or 8 points, but his offense has not been there. And part of that is because he's not the person that Jack wanted to be part of his offense right at this juncture in the game. He was looking more towards Smith, Elam, and it looks like Jaworski.
Nice look.
Mendoza got lost.
Hey, Sabino's a pretty good passer for a big kid.
27-24, 6 points for Mendoza. Memorial within 3. Mendoza urging on the Memorial faithful, and chance of defense go up at the Yanatelli Center.
Tigers in the zone defense now.
You take a quick look over on the sideline, and Brian Smith is ready to come back in and is quite sure they want him for some offense.
Sloppy possession for the Bees. Brock Smith knocked away. And now Brian Smith will head in. Kenny Jaworski will sit down. Jaworski started the second half. Brian Smith did not.
You know, one thing you have to be aware of, what's it going to be like when they put both Brian Smith and Jaworski in at the same time, because they're both very good scorers.
Elam rattles it home, 29-24.
There's another guy who has yet to get hot, and if he does, that certainly will help the Bayonne cause. Elam has not shot well at all. Maybe he's coming out of it.
29-24, Bayonne on top by 5, almost thrown away by Velasquez. Mendoza, top of the key, in for Sabino, spinning in the paint, no good. Rebound underneath, a travel. Backing out was Pereira, and he shuffled the feet.
He did a great job, too, coming out of the corner for the rebound. Tremendous offensive rebound, then he got a little too anxious and he moved the feet.
Under 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Bayonne led by 3, 22-19 when the quarter started. They now lead by 5, 29-24. Brandon Smith whips it left side, Elam. And that zone again, as Paul pointed out, the 2-3 zone packed in, daring Bayonne to beat them from the perimeter. Quincy Smith encourages them to come out of the zone. His first field goal in the second half. He has 4, 31-24. Velasquez looking to answer back, rolls out. Sabino, strong rebound, and the lay-in.
Sabino has defied logic here tonight, John. When he uses the glass, he doesn't make the shot. When he puts it straight in, he puts it home. So,
you know, right now, I'm going to say this. The fourth quarter is going to take its toll on Memorial because they have had the same basic complement of kids out there for most of this game, and Bayonne has been making the substitutions.
Probably another reason why Rodriguez has gone to more zone this quarter.
Conserving energy, you don't have to run around as much. Elam, pass was nearly intercepted. Is for Brandon Smith. 45 seconds to go, third quarter. Bayonne with a 5-point lead and possession. And it looks like Bayonne will be content to just move the ball around the perimeter while they stay in a zone.
Being very patient in the last 30 seconds here. May even wait for the last shot.
That's a smart move. I mean, they have to come out and play you when you've got the lead, and they want to stay packed in the zone telling you got to shoot it outside. Great strategy, but you don't want them to have the last shot when you're trailing.
Pass was kicked out of bounds or off the leg of a Tiger. 9.6 to go, so Bayonne, unless something crazy happens, is going to be able to head to the final stanza with the lead.
Well, they brought Amadio in for an offensive shot under the boards. And where does he go? He goes outside.
And
Amadio having words with Brian Smith.
I think he made the wrong step, and Brian Smith, you know, Brian's not one to hold back too much and let them know about it. So
3 seconds, 2, Mendoza.
Good hands by Elam. Oh, now, all ball.
All ball, and Mendoza not happy, but the Bees do hold the lead.
You know, John, with lesser officials, an official would have made that call and it would have been wrong. That was a great no call, and you have to admire the caliber of the officials we have on the court today.
Bayonne outscores Memorial 9-7 in the third, and they take a 5-point lead to the fourth. We've played 3 on the Pat Marpeau Savings Bank scoreboard. It's Bayonne 31 and Memorial 26. Get a good look at the crowd on the near side of the court. We've been looking at the far side throughout the afternoon, and there are plenty of bodies inside this building. The building holds about 3,000, maybe 3,500. I'd say we're probably close to 80% full. So, don't know what the estimate will be. Bayonne leads by 5. As we enter the final quarter, 31-26. Memorial looking for their first title since '73. Bayonne looking for their first title in 35 years. Shot comes up short, but Mendoza runs down the rebound. The Quintero miss.
Well, right now, John, it looks like Memorial wants to go outside in order to make up this deficit, and they've got some great perimeter shooters. The thing is, when they're going outside, Bayonne has got in the legs of Smith, and Amadio to go to the boards and rebound. So this should be a very interesting start to this fourth quarter.
Amadio picks up the personal. It's his second, team's 4th. Sabino gives up for Mendoza. Velasquez, who's got 3 threes on the afternoon. Almost caught for a 5-second violation. Elam, there he is, step for step against Mendoza. I don't know if there's 2 quicker point guards in the county. Mendoza,
nice
good looking dish, and it rolls out. Second try, no good, and that's one that Wilson Rodriguez will want to have back. Mascara blew an easy one.
Yeah, he blew an easy foul, John, and then he turned around, blew an easy shot, and then turned around and committed a stupid foul. And I say stupid foul because that was a frustration foul. He just needed to back away and let the ball go up court.
Second foul on Mascara. Minute gone by, fourth quarter, 31-26. Bayonne up by 5. They have led throughout the second half. Good ball fake by Brandon Smith, inside for Amadio, and the foul before the shot called on Mendoza. He's whistled for his third personal, team's third.
One of the things about Amadio has improved his game, John. You can see he keeps the ball up much better than he ever did. Probably got a lot stronger from the weight program. Doesn't bring that ball down like he used to when he was younger. And that's helped his game tremendously in the paint.
In the corner for Brian Smith. Backdoor, catch and shoot. Doesn't go. Memorial basketball.
Well, that was a great look and a great pass. Great shot. It just had a little bit, too little of the glass to go in.
Velasquez being contested now out on the perimeter. Long three. Well off the mark, and Bayonne wants to run. They've got the numbers, 4-on-2. Smith for Elam, inside for Amadio.
Now the Tigers were a little late coming back. The secondary defense, and Bayonne exploited it.
Wilson Rodriguez takes a timeout. It's a full timeout, and Rodriguez has ditched the tie, and he is in full coaching mode, and that's one of the few transition baskets we've seen from the Bees. So you're up 7 now, Bayonne, and you really haven't been able to play your type of game. You have to be very pleased with where you're at right now.
Well, Bayonne is getting a great deal of effort from some people who have figured great into the program all season long. Brandon Smith has been playing phenomenal. Gary Elam has got his wits about him today, 100%. He's playing a very smart game, and he's doing the things that Coach Hladek needs him to do as the team's focused leader. When you come to Amadio, when he was on the bench, you knew it because his presence was missed out there on the court. What I anticipate happening now, probably in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, you're going to see both Jaworski and Brian Smith out there on the court with Amadio, and you're going to see some scoring from places you haven't seen scoring for the Bees much at all this season.
Memorial has to be very careful now. Down 7. They can't let this lead balloon much more. They do have that ferocious perimeter game, and if they get hot at any point, they can make up a deficit fairly quickly, but still, there's not a lot of time left now. You're in the fourth quarter, 6:09 to go, and 7 points could go a long way. Memorial inbounds. Sammy Pereira, and he'll give it up for Mendoza, who will work on Elam. Drives the left side. Stutter step on Elam, was there every single step of the way, looking for a pick. Spin move, good dish. And the big fella, Mosquera, puts this one in. A much more difficult shot than the one he missed.
Mendoza making things happen, though, John, with his penetration. He's had a tough time getting away from Gary Elam all day. He's getting some help on screens, and his passing has been outstanding. Memorial just hasn't been converting.
33-28, things will tighten up considerably, especially if Memorial can hang in. Pressure will mount on Bayonne, the team with the lead. Crowd, I'm sure, will be into it. Brandon Smith just fakes a shot, had no intention of throwing one up.
You know, right now, Bayonne is very content pulling some time down off of the clock.
Elam gets it back, hangs in the air, and makes the jumper.
I talked about that jumping ability, John, and got him that basket. He might be a small guy, but he can elevate. He's probably got the best vertical leap of anybody on the floor, and that helped him get that put-back basket.
35-28, lead back up to 7 for Bayonne. Quincy Smith on the reach. First foul on Quincy, 5th foul on Bayonne.
That was a very good foul call. I mean, not only did he hinder his progress going to the basket, but he also altered his stride just a little bit.
4:48 to go in regulation. 35-28, Pereira wants to inbound, gets it for Velasquez. Elam tried for the steal and then able to recover. Mendoza very good with the basketball. Sabino, tough shot. He has been frustrated on the low blocks all afternoon. Only 3 points.
Well, the Bees have done a good job of taking away his right hand, and he doesn't appear to have much of a left, so they've exploited that. That's good defense.
Mendoza working hard, picks up the personal. His fourth, team's fourth.
They cannot afford to have Mendoza out of this game. He ignites their defensive pressure. So he's got to be very cautious not to get that 5th foul.
And he's unhappy with something. Quincy Smith is shaken up. They might want to call a timeout.
Uh-oh.
And it's picked off. The Hyundai with 4:05. Smith down on the ground to get it. And it goes out of bounds. And someone just threw something on the floor.
Really? Back here. See if we can get.
Give me. Give. On the floor,
Look to your left.
In for Sabino. Sabino stonewalled by Amadio. Foul line jumper is good for Bahande. 35-30. Back to a 5-point Bayonne lead. Quincy Smith seems to have been able to shake off whatever it was that was bothering him. Elam, nice dish down low for Brandon Smith. He misses, wants the foul call, and coming in to rip it away is Amadio. And Bayonne has the possession arrow.
Yeah, but he can't stop playing though, John. As bad as he gets that foul call, he stopped playing, and although his teammates helped him out, he lost out on a possible offensive rebound.
And that's what Gibby Lewis does so well. He probably just said, you know, you're hurting your team arguing with me.
What happened that time is Smith did get fouled, but you can't look to the lead official to call a foul. It's not his responsibility to be looking up. He got fouled on the hands. That was it.
Brian Smith to inbound. Gets it for Gary Elam. Drives with the left hand, penetrates, rises, fires, it's good!
Again, the elevation. Yeah, he's done a better job when the shots are tougher here today. Oh, looking to make something happen there.
Jack Laddick, arm around his waist. Some instructions for his point guard. Elam picks up his 3rd personal. Team 6th.
He was telling Elam over there, calm down. We don't need to pick his pocket. We just need to stall their offense.
3:20 to go in regulation. Memorial down 7. 35 years in the waiting. 3-pointer is good. Velasquez again, very animated as he heads back up the floor, imploring the crowd on. It's down to a 4-point Bayonne lead, 37-33. And Bayonne takes a very well-timed timeout.
It looked like Memorial was switching to man there, and Jack wants to make sure that the Bees are on the right page with their offense. Unless now, after a timeout, you know, it's always apt to make another change on the Memorial side. So,
full timeout by Bayonne. They still have a full and 2 30s. You see right behind the bench, Patsy McGeehan, just over the right shoulder of Brandon Stokes. He has been at every contest, and the superintendent of schools, ever present, a very big fan of the athletic program at Bayonne High School.
You know, Dr. McGeehan is probably one of the most intelligent sport fans you're going to find at any contest anywhere. And if it's any indication, you take a look at her, and her feeling is that her Bayonne Bees are going to do a great job in this championship game. And if she has anything to say about it, they will win.
No, she enjoyed herself. She was up at Marist High School on Wednesday night.
How could you miss that?
3:01 to go. 37-33, Bob Lauderhan and Gibby Lewis having fun, along with Jim Burton and the crowd now trying to be a factor right behind us. You see a shot, everybody rising as we are heading toward crunch time.
It is crunch time, John. We're under 3, and we're still playing basketball.
wow. Oh, a little bit too much there from Elam. Too much. Uh-oh, there he is.
Velasquez for 3.
Oh, good
shot
hand.
was blocked by Quincy Smith.
Quincy Smith was a kid who Came out of nowhere in the football season, had a great season, and looking for him to make some big plays here. He's an unsung type player.
Sabino, team down by 4, working on Amadio, who's played well defensively. Gets his hands on the ball, almost makes a steal. Nearly created it, and it ends up in the hands of Memorial.
Well, you can
fortuitous bounce.
You can rest assured they're going to keep their eye on Velasquez. They don't want him to be open to shoot a 3.
Stolen on the baseline by Amadio, then banged quite a bit. Gives it up for Elam with 2:15 to go. Bayonne up by 4.
Bayonne needs to be patient right now, get their offensive set going, and then run the ball in for a good 2-point basket.
Amadio's done a great job today, John, on defense in particular.
He has been brilliant defensively.
You notice how Bayonne's boys team is rotating and coming to pick up the ball rather than sitting back, waiting for the ball to come to them.
Now the Bees using their version of 4 corners now.
Quincy Smith, that was not the shot they wanted.
Nope.
Don't foul. That is a bad foul by Amadio, because that will put Memorial on the line 1-1. That is a silly, silly foul.
You know, we've been saying nice things about people, and they've done good things. It just backfired. They said something nice, and a bad thing happened for Amadio.
George Mendoza will attempt his first free throw of this afternoon's ball game. His team is down by 4. Checking in is Junior Dela Cruz, and sitting down is Andrew Vahande.
Memorial looking to get a little bit quicker lineup now, probably some better shooting.
You know, I'm not going to second-guess Jack's strategy right here, but I would love to see Jaworski back out on the floor.
Costly missed free throw. Brian Smith almost airmailed his brother with 90 seconds to go. 4-point Bayonne lead. He traveled.
Jump here, and it forced him into a turnover.
He traveled.
Hey, you know, I went to a clinic last week, and Al Groh talked about sometimes you got to take chances to make something happen. Do something rash. You saw Memorial tripling the ball. It paid a dividend.
You knew the pressure was coming, and Bayonne was able to withstand it for a while. And right now they need to regroup and adjust, because they're going to be throwing 10 people at the ball now.
Velasquez, Memorial trailing by 4. Velasquez, left hand.
Good look.
Sabino spinning. That's a very difficult shot. Rebound, Brian Smith. Bayonne's got the numbers. Up ahead for Elam. A 3-on-2. Elam, no call, throws it up. Bounce. Almost went in. Sabino now with 57 seconds. Hands off to Mendoza. Sabino for 3. Straight on. No good. Elam gets the rebound and is fouled in the far corner. And that'll be it for Mendoza if he was whistled.
Wow. That's big.
You know, did you notice how quick the officials were over there on top of that last foul? And no disrespect to anybody, Mendoza made a good move on the foul. You wanted to stop the ball. Gibby made a good job getting over there to prevent anything from happening. And Elam did a great job of just backing away from it all. Very well handled.
That's why he has to be on these games, because he's one of the few who gets in there when the time is right.
Bayonne takes a 30-second timeout. The possession arrow points in favor of the Memorial Tigers. Bayonne is over the limit. They commit a foul. Memorial shoots. Memorial has 1 foul to give before Bayonne will shoot. 1 timeout full for Bayonne, 1:30. Memorial with 2 full timeouts and no 30s.
Yeah, we said this was going to be a down-to-the-wire game, and it has been. But Bayonne, John, you know, they're getting a good team effort here, though, too. You know, Amadio's done some good things. Elam, the Smiths, you know, and that plays right into the Atlantic system. You know, everybody contributes. Nobody's the star.
Bayonne with the ball in a 4-point lead, trying to secure their first title since 1968.
And this is the most crucial possession of the game for both teams. Bayonne wants to inbound it clean and get a good shot, and Memorial wants to get possession of the ball.
Memorial has a foul to give, so they want to give it fairly soon. Almost a walk.
Don't want to foul Elam if they can avoid it. Good movement.
35 seconds remaining.
Great job by Bayonne.
Elam is fouled. Relax Michael Amadio. Relax David Velasquez. And now the next foul, Bayonne will go to the line.
Well, that was a poor place to pass the ball because he was not open on that one, John.
Well, one more to give. Now you don't want to foul Elam. You want to get somebody else if you can. If you're Memorial.
Foul was on Dela Cruz. Bayonne will shoot if they are hacked again.
Yep, good move there.
And that may be why Dela Cruz is in the game. He has had no fouls up until a second ago. So if Bayonne can make their free throws, they should be in pretty good shape, although this is a two-possession game regardless of whether or not Smith makes these free throws.
Now, John, you talk about low scores. We talk about the girls. Look at this score. When's the last time, if Bayonne doesn't break 40, when's the last time you had a county final where neither team broke the 40s? I bet you it hasn't happened in a very long time.
Brandon Smith.
Nice point by that young man to take his time, not be offended by the pressure, and make that shot.
Smith can make this a 6-point game. Memorial does have 2 timeouts and the possession arrow. Second one rolls in. 4 points for Brandon Smith.
We need to call him the Iceman.
Half a minute to go.
Oh.
Looked like a travel, got away with it. Makes the bucket, Elvis Quintero. And a timeout Memorial with 24.4. So decent presence of mind. They didn't absolutely have to get a 3 that time. They get the best shot. And they're down 4 with 24.4 to go.
You know, John, there was a travel on that play, and neither official was in position to call it. And you have to just smile when something like that happens. I give the young man a great deal of credit for having the presence of mind to make the shot.
That was a heck of a shot. You're right, he did travel, but he got away with one, and instead of just caving in and giving up, he continued with the shot, didn't hear a whistle. So a good play again by a role player.
24.4 to go. Want to remind everybody that this game is being brought to you by Pamrapo Savings Bank, Bayonne's community bank. Our thanks to Judy McAuliffe, Mr. William Campbell, and also Brian Campbell. Thanks to them and Pamrapo, you were able to enjoy this game on the Bayonne Educational Network, or if you happen to purchase the tape.
Did you say Pamrapo? Is that Pamrapo Savings Bank of Bayonne?
That is correct.
With Mr. William Campbell, Judy McAuliffe. Did Judy have any more grandchildren this year?
Not yet.
She's behind the curve there.
Yeah, she's slowing down.
Usually we have a birth announcement to make, John.
That's right. 24-4.
Another big possession here for the Bees.
Smith can run the baseline, gets it in for Elam, and he's fouled. Gary Elam will go to the line, up 4, and only 1.4 ran off the clock.
Well, if he makes 2, Memorial can still tie it with 2 threes. So they're still not out of the woods even if he makes both shots. Will help though if Elam makes 2, even 1. Helps their cause, but still doesn't put them out of the woods.
Bayonne has made all 3 free throws in the second half, and they've all come in the final minute.
Well, Smith was the Iceman. I guess Gary Elam is the Ice Cube.
Elam makes them both. 22.8 to go. Pereira hustles it into the front court, hoists a 3.
Oh!
It's good off the glass. Memorial takes their final timeout. Sammy Pereira keeps hope alive for the Memorial Tigers.
I don't think he was looking to go that way, John. Unless he's a heck of a bumper pool player. That was like a little divine help on that shot.
Well, right now, you could not ask for a better, more exciting finish to a championship boys game than what we're seeing now. And Memorial, with 17 seconds exactly left in this game, still has a chance to tie, intercepting the ball and taking a 3.
Well, a few years ago, the Marist Lady Knights and the Marist Royal Knights swept the boys and the girls HCIAA titles. It was the first time since St. Anthony's boys and girls had done it way back. Both times Bill DeFazio was involved. Well, the second time it happened in Marist, Mike Pearson was the athletic director, and now he has a chance for another sweep with Bayonne's girls already a championship in the bank. The boys trying to follow suit, ahead by 3, 17 seconds remaining. Nobody on the inbounder.
Boy, we'll go man pressure and look to double the ball when it comes in. That's why there's no one on the ball.
Somebody has got to learn how to use the score clock. That was the end of timeout time buzzer that went.
Well, they better find out fast because there's only 17 seconds left in the game. So.
Well, I think we should send Juan over there to take care of that.
Memorial has no timeouts left, and they are in the penalty. They get it in for Elam.
Got it to the right guy, home run play.
Up ahead, Brandon Smith. He peels off for Brian Smith.
Foul away. Good move, though. Fouling Brandon Smith, although he's shot pretty well today, I believe.
You're seeing two master coaches at work here. Bayonne did a great job getting the ball up, and under the instruction of Coach Rodriguez over there, Memorial did a great job of getting the foul. And you can't ask for more strategy than what they're playing here. Both teams are doing exactly what they need to do when they need to do it, and that keeps Bayonne on top.
Smith probably would have been better off, though, going to the basket. He misses, and now Memorial a chance to tie with 8 seconds. No timeouts remaining. Velasquez along the baseline. They need a 3. Velasquez for the tie. Partially blocked. 2 seconds. 1 second. That's it. For the first time since 1968, the Bayonne boys are the champions of the HCIAA.
Phil Baccarello, are you watching? Yes, he is. He's here, as a matter of fact. He was on that last championship team.
Juan, pick up the coach.
As John goes to interview the winning coach, Jack Haladic. The Bayonne Bees have gotten the monkey off their back. The Memorial Tigers will have to wait for another year. And I guess it's kind of fitting, Jim, because Bayonne has waited longer than Memorial. 5 years, in fact.
Bayonne has waited longer, and Bayonne has done what we truly believe is the undoable in HCIAA basketball. They have completely captured the championships in 5 different games for basketball.
Yes, absolutely. They've won every possible Coviello title in basketball. That's quite a feat.
Wow, that was easy, huh?
As soon as I can get there. We go now to John with Jack Haladic. Jack Haladic, the winning coach.
We're here with victorious head coach Jack Haladic. Coach, congratulations. I saw a quote in the paper that said, the kids don't understand 35 years of drought at Bayonne High School. You understand it. What's it mean to you?
It's just been a long time, and there's been so many great players that have played down there, and Coach Levan was there for so many years, and you need a little bit of luck. You know, I look back on 2 games this year to get us here. Union Hill game where the kid missed a shot at the buzzer, and the Emerson game where one of our players, Courtney Johnson, made a 3 out of the corner. Those are 2 big wins for us. You need a little bit of luck. I mean, we have a good basketball team, so does Memorial, but you need a little bit of luck.
And you also got a contribution from an unexpected source. Kenny Jaworski was absolutely brilliant in this game.
I know, and I guess people are wondering why I didn't play a lot at the end of the game, but I just felt I had to go with those 5 kids. Those 4 seniors have been here, and I just felt that I had to keep them on the floor, more for defensive reasons than anything else.
We've talked time and time again about Gary Elam. As he goes, so go the Bees. He was brilliant today.
He was absolutely brilliant. He did a great job distributing the basketball. His shot selection in the second half was great. Everybody did a great job.
Well, Coach, this was a clean sweep. Freshman, JV, varsity. A few years ago, it seemed almost impossible. Now, everything's in place.
You know, and it just gives us a lot of credibility to everything that we're doing down there. And I'm just real happy for the kids. They work so hard all year long. It's great.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.